Hello team and welcome back. And today we're back on the south coast and we're in the New Forest. So I've come out for a walk because the autumn colours are at their peak at the moment and the light's really nice. It's going from like sunny to rain to sun again. So yeah, there's lots to photograph. So I thought I'd bring you out on a walk with me. So woodland photography can be quite overwhelming. I find it chaotic and messy and it's kind of hard to know where to begin sometimes. So I wanted to show you the kit that I've brought out today, which will give you an insight about how I approach this kind of woodland photography. So I've got my Fujifilm X-T5 and I've got the 100 to 400 lens on at the moment. I don't know if you can actually pick this up, but it's covered in rain at the moment from the last downpour 5 minutes ago. So this is really good in zooming in on those details. So like I say, woodland photography can be quite overwhelming. So how I'd begin is zooming in on patches of light, beautiful leaves, whatever it is that draws me into the smaller details. And then I work out there from those smaller details. So this telephoto lens is essential for me when I'm taking a woodland walk. And the other bit of kit that I've brought out with me today is my macro lens. So this is a 30mm macro lens by Fujifilm, and I love this because I can get super close to things like mushrooms, details that are on the floor, anything that draws my eye. So basically I'm going to be working between a 30mm macro lens and the 100 to 400 zoom lens. So yeah, whatever draws us in today, so whether it be the colour, the light, the textures, the details, come along with me and let's go and explore the forest. Oh, just look at that colour, how nice is that? I have already spotted some mushrooms, so already switched to the macro lens. Try and frame something up here. Another little group of mushrooms here, and the light on them is so nice. Yeah, let me show you how close I can get with this macro lens. Just that detail from the water droplets on this one. Yeah, just absolutely incredible. So once you start noticing all these little mushrooms on the woodland floor, I don't know if you can see this through the camera lens, but this tiny one that I've discovered. So the more you start noticing, the more you start seeing. So already I'm barely 2 minutes into this woodland walk and I've noticed so much, and I think it's just been really observant, and especially through narrowing down my field of vision by either looking through my zoom lens or looking for details with my macro lens, it's really helped me to see these things. So I'd highly recommend, if anyone feels a bit overwhelmed in the woodland looking at photography, this is where to begin because it helps your eye see certain things and then you can go from there. So yeah, I think it's time to carry on, go for a walk and see what else we can find. Everywhere I walk. So this one looks really cool, composed of a nice central frame, breaking all the rules here, photography, and having it nicely backlit by the sun. And then this mushroom's so small, don't know if you can pick it up that well on the GoPro, but look how close I am. And for my composition for something like that, I really want that to take central space in the frame. Yeah, so that's how I'd frame that up for something so tiny. So yeah, hopefully you can see already why I approach things in that way, because it really helps me find the things that I want to photograph. It really helps me single out where those photographs are, and you know, whether it's a tiny mushroom and I'm making it central frame, or whether I want to get some context of the scene in. This 30mm macro lens is absolutely incredible for that, because there's so many perspectives I can use. So yeah, I'm just going for a walk down this pathway and just see where this leads us. Tiny scenes like that one, I just feel like the background is partly what makes the shot, because it's pretty clear. You've got the woodland floor where you can see the leaves, and you've got this soft, gentle, out of focus, bokeh background, and I just think that's stunning. That's the kind of things that I'll look for. And I just wanted to say, I'll always take one shot. So I know a lot of people do focus stacking in these kind of environments, especially for things like mushrooms or any kind of macro. But I'm looking at one shot because I just want it really simple. I'm not very technically minded. I'd rather just get one nice shot, shallow depth of field, and be done. So just to give you an idea on settings, that last mushroom shot, I was looking at 1/60th of a second, so quite a slow shutter, f5.6. So as long as I'm focusing on the tip of the mushroom, most of that head will be in focus, and I've got an ISO of 500. So the light is really low at the moment, so if I need to boost the ISO, I'm quite happy to. It doesn't bother me at all. So that's a rough idea, rough guideline of kind of what I'll go for my settings when I'm shooting mushrooms. I keep going to change to my long lens just to try and pick out details, and then spotting mushrooms and going back to my macro lens. So I feel like this probably is a purely mushroom video without even realising this was going to happen. So yeah, hope you're interested, guys, because there's plenty more. These guys. So again, just getting low on the floor, and you just notice the most incredible things. So I'm going to lift this very, very carefully, just so you can see tiny little mushrooms that are on this little twig. How amazing is that? So I've just put them back down safely to get some photos. Absolutely stunning. And also, as you can see, I'm literally laying my camera in the leaves and the dirt, and luckily having a flip screen means that you don't have to get in the dirt yourself. You can still get those photos. And there's a few techniques that I'd use. So sometimes I do this, and other times I've got a really tiny tripod that I use. But actually, even the tiny tripod will still take me a few inches off the ground. Whereas for something like this, as you can see, you just have to be as low as you possibly can to the subject, just to make it more prominent in the frame. So that's why I shoot like this. This is my favourite go-to way of doing it. And the light coming through in the background of these shots is just stunning. Perfect. So another important thing, which I didn't quite touch on when I was talking about the settings I'm using, I'm shooting in manual because I want full manual control over the light. I want the light, the depth of field, the composition, the focus, everything I want within my control. So shooting in full manual control means that I can control the light that comes in and how that end photograph looks. So that's really, really important to me. So So something you may have noticed from the shots that I take, I really like it to be a clean surroundings, clean background, something that really makes the mushroom stand out, so you know that that's my subject and it makes it look really good. So there's a lot of mushrooms at the moment, and obviously it's quite messy on the woodland floor. So in this scene here, I really like these mushrooms, but for my camera's composition, if I want to shoot low, there's a lot of things in the way. So quite often I might move a couple of things if there's fallen fern, like this piece that's fallen across the scene here. So I'm just going to move them out the way. So yeah, just a little bit of gardening can just improve the shot. So the light's really dropped off now, and I wanted to show you another technique that I use sometimes, and whether that's if you've got a flashlight with you or you can use your phone torch, just doing a little setup like this can really shed some light on your subject. Oh man, and it's just started chucking it down with rain again, so yeah, hopefully it passes. Oh, my stuff's getting soaked now. Well, that cut short using my phone as the torch because yeah, recently I had to replace my phone. So I had my last iPhone out in Storm Amy in Glencoe, and the water got in it so bad it's completely broken, and I've had to replace it and buy a new phone the other day. So I'm not taking that risk again, getting any rain in here. But yeah, when it comes to using a bit of a flashlight on the woodland floor, I think is a great technique because we've all got phones with us, they've all got torches. It's a super easy thing for you to try out. So yeah, I'd highly recommend it. If the light drops so low that, you know, you've got to compromise on those settings because of the low light, then actually just shove a little light in and highlight your subject. Well worth it. Oh, and I've just stumbled upon this lot. This is pretty cool. Anyway, I hope you guys have enjoyed tagging along on this woodland adventure, and yeah, the art of noticing the mushrooms on the woodland floor is the main thing that draws me in. Like I say, the woodland can be a very chaotic scene, so for me it's narrowing it down to those small moments, the small details that I can really hone in on. So yeah, I think to summarise then, I think my top tips if you're going to go out in the woodland and you're going to try a bit of mushroom photography, I would say don't be afraid of getting low, get on the woodland floor. If you can tilt out your screen on your camera, perfect, because you want to get as low as possible and make the subject as strong in your scene as possible. Next, I'd say shoot with full manual control because you want to control the depth of field, the light, and obviously the shutter speed. You know, if you're keeping as still as you possibly can, cameras these days are pretty good that you can take that shutter speed quite low, so you should be okay. And lastly, bring a light with you. You know, if the forest floor goes really dark, then at least you can get out your phone and put your torch on and highlight your subject. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this wander with me and a little insight into how I photograph the woodland, namely mushroom photography. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed it, and I'll see you on the next one, guys. Bye.